All right, guys, not only have we built this cabin and we keep doing tons of projects around here, but we're gonna try to improve things every single year and along this entire journey, right?
Yep. So check out today's video. It's gonna solve a lot of problems for us.
And I hope you guys enjoy the video.
So you kept the roller.
It was in the garbage.
Might as well keep it. Well, good then. Colors all changed.
Hey guys, welcome back to the cabin. So today we're gonna look at an option from Mr. Cool. They have a DIY 12K mini split that runs on 115 volt. It's a single zone, do-it-yourself install type system. We've been researching on different techniques and different strategies on how to heat and cool our cabin. There's obviously lots of options that consume lots of electricity and fossil fuels of different type, but the mini split from Mr. Cool is very efficient for what it does, and it's going to heat and cool. So this is going to take care of and solve a lot of problems for us here at the off-grid cabin. We have 4 to 6 months here at the cabin that we can heat the cabin with wood. Keep a fire going, heat the cabin without a problem. But for a couple of months in the spring and a couple of months in the fall, it's just not convenient to burn a fire, and the cabin could get kind of chilly. And then in the middle of the summer, for 3 months, it gets quite warm. We're going to try out the DIY mini split system here from Mr. Cool. We're going to put it in the cabin and see how it treats us. And I'm pretty sure if I could install a system like this, so can you. So with your Mr. Cool DIY mini split system, they're going to provide you and send you a toolbox. They're going to send us a hole saw. This hole saw is for cutting the hole for the lines from the interior wall unit. A couple of crescent wrenches, adjustable crescent wrenches. Our Mr. Cool DIY E-Star Series 12K. And here is our outdoor unit, our heat pump. Also included in this box is our line set, pre-charged copper line set, 25 feet of it. Guys, Jen and I are very excited to try this system out and show it to you today, and yeah, have something to help us in the cabin. And I didn't really think anything like this existed or was possible for a system or a solar setup as small as ours. Now this obviously isn't solar or off-grid specific, so a mini split in itself is very efficient and very versatile, and we like that here at Off Grid with Jay and Jen. Here's our 25-foot line set, pre-charged line set. And here's our outdoor unit. Everything looks good, guys. No dents, no dings. Alright guys, pretty cool. Electrical's all hooked up to the main heat pump. We're going to go install the interior wall unit, and then we'll run the lines from that down to the heat pump here. Are you done working yet?
Someone's got to work around here.
Jed's done working for 3 or 4 hours, so we're going to try to get the interior unit installed. So come along with us.
Hooray!
Air conditioning and a little bit of heat for you.
It'd be nice on a day like today. It rained a lot yesterday, and the air is very cool, and it's low 60s.
It's chilly out. It's stuff that you take for granted when you have maintained heat or a furnace or,
just
you know.
in the cabin, we put a sweatshirt on or something right now, but if we could kick it on and
just bump it up a couple degrees, that'd be awesome.
that's exciting.
So I'll get a ladder and get stuff set up inside. We'll catch you inside in a minute. Run through the wall and stuff too. Alright guys, so here's our drain hose. This is going to drain condensation or any condensation that gathers in the wall unit, the interior wall unit. Here is part of our through the wall kit. There's a bunch of UV tape and putty and stuff in here too. I'm not sure exactly what the putty's for yet. Maybe plugging the hole. User's manual for the remote control, DIY setup kit. These are for the outside unit. These are rubber plates so the unit doesn't shake. And we have our remote control. So let's take this out of the box now that we're ready for it.
Where we were at, I didn't overread it. I didn't want to be confusing.
Alright guys, so our studs are on the edges of the windows, and then we have a header above the windows, so we have to go up high enough so our large hole that we're drilling to pass the copper lines that go to the outside unit doesn't hit our header, obviously. So we want to go through just pine tongue and groove and exterior stuff. Alright, so I'm going to tape this to the wall, and we're going to get started. Pretty exciting.
So now we have that installed. What's next?
I have all my screw holes marked. Now we're going to drill the hole through the wall. Timber says, thanks, Mr. Cool.
Keeping me warm and cool.
So we have our Mr. Cool hole saw. 3.5 inch it says. So that's going to drill our hole through the wall. So let's give it a shot.
Wah, wah.
You want to do this?
No.
I think the directions also said to do it at a slight angle, inside to outside.
This little piece, guys. It's in nice and flat like it's supposed to be.
All trimmed up and flush with the upper siding. Alright guys, so here's our wall unit. Here's our 25 feet of electrical cord that has to go out to the heat pump as well. The unit comes with the copper lines pushed against the unit, the back of the unit. We have to carefully move them so they can go perpendicular to the unit and pass through the wall. Go. And then this, and then here's this is the plastic discharge drain hose. So it says to leave that underneath, right? That goes underneath.
It says you will need to lightly tape the refrigerant piping and drain pipe together in a bundle using electrical tape, making sure the drain pipe is at the bottom.
We need to try to keep this drain line in a downward motion the entire run.
Let the wire go through the hole first, it says. So that just mounts on there? It doesn't, there's no screws or anything that mount onto that? It's kind of crazy.
Can you push that electrical through the wall? Alright guys, so we have the electrical going through the sleeve to outside. Now I'm going to try to do this without Jen. So the top has little shelves that you have to latch onto, and then as you pull it down, there's a couple little plastic tabs that you have to slide underneath, and it grabs onto the metal bracket on the bottom as well. Alright guys, before we go any farther, we're on the outside of the cabin now. We have all our lines, drain pipe, and electrical coming out the wall. We need to install this wall plate to seal it up, and then we're going to spray foam in the middle of the tube where the lines are passing through. Out here, make sure all 4 things are through here, drain pipe included. Electrical line, drain pipe, and our 2 refrigerant lines, copper tubing. There's the wall plate. So I'm gonna bend these over towards you guys, holding my hand here so things don't bend and kink. There we go. So they got this springy stuff on it too, so it bends nice and evenly, which is smart. So now that we have the tubes bent over in the direction we're going to let that spray foam dry. Now that we spray foamed it, just let it dry for a short bit. Roll it, pull on it, roll it. There we go.
There. Okay. A little bit more.
What?
Yeah, about another foot.
A little bit more?
Just a smidge more. All right, they're touching. Now we're gonna feed this cord to Jason. All right, that's
straight. All right, we got our hose here, our tubing, we got our electrical. The only thing we have to run now is our drain line.
of course you want it on. Did you guys know that? That if you want to record something, you have to press record. It's like the third time he's made that mistake today. You'd think he'd be a seasoned pro by now, y'all.
Alright there, funny pants. We got our cool Mr. Cool. We got our Mr. Cool toolbox. Cool Mr. Cool toolbox. The 2 wrenches they give us, 2 crescent wrenches, which I'm pretty excited to have these for even after the job, because I always have one and I can't find it, so now I'll have multiples. So these are a very important tool to put the lines together. Alright guys, so the copper tubing has to connect to the copper tubing on the indoor wall unit. And they are color coded. We have blue goes to blue, gray goes to gray. Make sure you guys read the directions really well. Jen's reading these off to me. I'm not including it in the video all the time, so make sure you read the directions and the instructions on how to install this unit. It has a lot of safety tips for not causing any issues to your copper tubing and all your fittings. I have a little bit of plumbing experience in my life, so I kind of understand how to safely do things, but all those tips they're giving you are very useful, and it's good of Mr. Cool to give those to you. So on most fittings, one part spins and the other is solid. So we want to make sure we spin the part that's got a free floating fitting on it. That way we don't break the side that's solid. So come out of the wall. Here's our fittings. Gray goes to gray, blue goes to blue. So we're going to connect blue first, and then I will pull the gray up to that, and we'll connect them. So we'll remove the blue plug. These have seals in there, and then we'll connect it right here. So these color-coded caps and plugs, one, they keep dirt out of the fittings and the lines, and they also protect the threads so we don't mess anything up. Always hand tighten threads to start, because you don't want to start wrenching on stuff and cross thread anything. Make sure you use both your wrenches so you don't break anything. There we go. It's tight, so I'm going to give it one little...
Said don't over torque and don't under torque.
You kind of feel it stop, and then you just give it a little more oomph.
So next you got to do the next color?
And we'll do gray. Both the lines are hooked up there. Once we connect it to the outdoor unit, we have to make sure we leak seal check everything and make sure there's no leaks, and then we can kind of tighten everything up with the insulation and make everything look pretty. All right, guys, we're here by the lower unit, the outdoor unit. We have to remove the rain shield or cover and hook up our lines. Jen's inside making me some soapy water so we can leak check everything once I have everything connected. Just kind of peek here and I'll show you how this is gonna go. Did you just crawl through the window?
Yep, it's like a door wall actually.
It's a door wall with a step?
Yeah, it's just that's how we work it here at Off-Grid Jay and Jen. We didn't need a door wall.
Thanks, honey.
No problem. I'm feeding the puppies.
You're gonna do a class and we'll...
I've got hungry dogs.
Alright guys, so I have my soapy water ready to go. Make sure you guys read the directions, instructions. Jen's been kind of peeking at those and making sure she reads me everything. That's important. Gonna make this install go way smoother. It says to leave any line you're not using coiled up. So we're gonna do that and hook it up. Let's go. All right, guys, we're going to get the electrical hooked up. All we really have to do, I guess, now is open the refrigerant lines and hook up our power from the inside unit. The inside unit, the wall unit, is clearly marked with the numbers 1, 2, 3. So it's really nice that Mr. Cool has made us a nice manual with a lot of good directions. And they really invested the time to make this easier for us and make it go well. It's nice to know that a company does that, and they care. So let's get this hooked up, and then we'll open the refrigerant lines, check for leaks, and then we can start buttoning things up and making stuff look pretty. Alright guys, all the electricals hooked up, simple as that. A few wires from the unit inside and a couple wires to power the unit. I guess we're at the point we open up the refrigerant lines and then we leak check everything. These valves open with the included little tool, and we're gonna open these valves up, and then I'm gonna leak check everything. Hopefully we don't get rained on while I'm trying to do it. Alright, simple as that. We gotta turn them counterclockwise, make sure they're open all the way. We want to have good flow. We don't want the valves half open, so we open it until it stops. Moment of truth. Alright guys, rainstorm came through the same second I started testing it, and I got soapy water on everything and no leaks. So I'm going to put these brass caps back on, and we're going to take a break till the rain stops. Alright everybody, we have been rained out.
Did you get everything done out there?
I have everything done outside. I mean, I need to read the directions one more time, but Jen's going to rip the plastic little tape off of it. Don't break the little door. There you go. There we go. So we have all the electrical done, all the tubing, copper pipes to go, the refrigerant lines. Everything's done except for tidying it up. Soap test went good. It's just been pouring off and on, so it's interrupted us a little bit. Let's go kick it on. You put the remote together.
Alright, we'll see what happens here. Who would have thought we'd be using the heat in June? That's Michigan for you, though. You never know what you're going to get.
Did the unit beep? Or?
Yeah, it beeped. It's working, I guess. That thing just moved.
Did it?
That thing just moved down.
The pump's running outside. Like, you can't even hear it. I can definitely feel the heat right here.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Am I crazy?
No, you can feel it.
Yeah. Maybe it took just a minute for, the pump to run to circulate everything. Holy cannoli.
Who would have thought we'd be using a heat pump in June?
On solar, too.
Yeah.
That feels really nice. Yes?
Yeah.
So it's 64 in here right now, and it's
Let's see what
9:30. So we'll see
we'll leave
what
it on
it does.
for a little bit and see what.
Leave it on for an hour. All right, guys, pretty happy. Pretty impressive. That's quieter than like a box fan in the window. I was worried about it being right here. Like, I don't want to look at it, but I was worried about the noise. Like, you can't even hear it. It's just a quiet, it's like a fan on low. Thank you, Mr. Cool, for sponsoring this video. Thanks for sending us the 12K BTU mini split DIY. So I didn't even have to pay somebody thousands of dollars to come out here and install it. I'm gonna button the rest of this stuff up and make it look pretty. It says to check for leaks after it's on, which is smart because the pressure builds up a little higher than when it's off. So I checked it down here already. I'm gonna go check it up on the ladder, and then I'm gonna tighten up the insulation like it says to, so we don't have any efficiency losses at exposed copper, and go from there. Jenny's gonna be a pretty happy lady. Let's go look at the solar shed real quick. So one thing I was a little concerned about with this unit did not have anything to do with Mr. Cool products themselves, but how my solar would run it and how much power it drew. This unit, the 12K, is a 115 volt unit, so it says you need a 20 amp dedicated circuit. It says 19 amps, but 20 amps is the standard thing. So 19 amps, probably startup, which, you know, is 2200 watts, which our inverter is 3000 watts. And then continuous run, when I looked at it before, was at 900 watts. Now that it's been running for a little while, it's actually down to 560, 600 watts. It keeps flashing back and forth. So 560 watts. That's less than our coffee maker. That's significantly less than our coffee maker. So obviously once the system gets running, like most motors, once they're running, they level out with electricity use a little bit. Pretty awesome. Let's go inside, see if it's warmed up a little bit, and I'm gonna grab a cup of coffee. Is it cooking you out yet?
It's warmed up a degree in the house.
Awesome, guys. Well, we're gonna, hang out here, drink some coffee, see how this goes. We'll update you in a little bit, and then I'll go out there and button all that stuff up later this morning. Okay? Happy lady?
Mm-hmm. Happy boobies.
All right, guys, it's 11 o'clock. It's been an hour and a half since we kicked on the Mr. Cool, and it was 64 degrees in here or 63.
64.
64 degrees when we started, and right now we're at 68 degrees.
68 and a half.
No, 68 and a half. It's really nice.
Warmed
Jen,
up 4 degrees, 4.5, so it's nice. It's gonna definitely be a
game changer.
welcome addition in the cool mornings.
Jen can also kick on the unit with her phone. There's a smart app. We have not hooked this up yet.
We'll get that all connected.
There's a smart USB app controller, so we will plug that in the next day or so and get it hooked up to Jen's phone, and then she can kick it on at like 6 or 7 in the morning, and then it'll be a little warmer in here before she gets up to work.
It set to turn on, then it'll be nice and warm when I get out of bed.
We'll keep you guys updated throughout the summer on the Mr. Cool. Pretty impressed. It's nice and quiet. Like, that's one thing I don't like is excessive noise. And you can't, like right now we have it on heat and the fan on high just to kind of see if it circulates the air better. Because it runs on low and you can't even tell it's on. Right?
Right.
So we kicked it on high and it just sounds like a slow fan. It's very quiet, but it's going to circulate the air a little bit better. All right, guys. We've tested the Mr. Cool all morning. It ran for 4 hours and heated the cabin up from 64 up to 69, which was nice. This time of year, you obviously can't use a fire, or you cook yourself out, and that thing is going to be really nice on those warm days in July and August. So I'm going to button everything up now that I know everything is operating correctly. I'm going to wrap all my insulated copper tubing in the UV tape. We're going to put the cover kit for the line set kit on the lines above the deck so it looks nice. We'll paint it at a different time, but I want to protect everything and get everything buttoned up and insulated well. Putting this on the back side. I'm going to wrap it around. I'm all done.
Good job.
But I'll show it off here, guys. We're gonna use this for a couple days, give you a real quick update at the end of the video, okay?
Sounds good.
What? Is 90 degrees too hot for you guys?
Do you guys know it's cold inside? Oh.
Go on in. Ooh, you can feel that cold air coming out right now.
Oh my goodness. Is it so much better in here? So Jay turned this on probably about 2 hours ago.
It was about 83 degrees outside when we turned it on and 78 degrees inside the cabin.
And now it is 86 outside and 71 in here.
We've dropped 7 degrees in the last few hours. This is something that neither Jenny or I ever expected to be possible on our economical solar system and our tiny cabin here. We just kind of figured we'd have to rough it. And all the comments through the years asking about air conditioning and heat, I just figured, you know what? Part of being off-grid is roughing it, and we're not doing that anymore.
Nope, we got an awesome solution. Thanks again to Mr. Cool for sponsoring today's video. We super appreciate you helping us stay cool.
And hot, because the mini split has heat as well. So that's going to solve a lot of our heating problems for those 3 or 4 months of the year where it's too warm to heat the cabin with the wood stove and it's too cool out to just ignore, right? And yeah, we highly recommend you guys check out the very efficient and very awesome Mr. Cool mini split. Check out the description box below
for any codes and links.
We might have a discount code there for you, but we're going to have the links to take you directly to the best deal on this mini split. And they have a variety of different sizes for different size cabins and different applications. So make sure you check those out. We'll put those in the description box and the first pinned comment.
Yep.
So how do you like your mini split?
It's awesome. It's keeping him cool, which keeps him happy, which makes everybody happy.
Yep. So we appreciate you guys for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. And thank you again, Mr. Cool.
Yep. If you have any questions about it, how it runs, or anything at all, just drop them below in the comments, and Jay will do his best to answer them all for you.
Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us. We hope you learned a bit. We are very happy and satisfied with our Mr. Cool mini split. So, best wishes. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Yep.